Children can oftentimes find novel solutions to difficult problems because they're not constrained by what others see as boundary conditions. Likewise, innovators are often people who see solutions by looking elsewhere. We call that out-of-the-box thinking. While big ideas can sometimes come that way, it's more common to find novel or even simple solutions by looking at the problem without being constrained. How often does your company fail to find a useful solution to a problem a customer experiences because people are focused on the process they think they have to follow rather than the desired outcome they're trying to achieve? A great example of that came up when I was traveling back from Puerto Rico with my wife and two of our friends. We had 4 first-class seats from San Juan to Dulles, and then from Dulles to San Francisco. As my wife likes to say, there have to be some perks for my traveling all the time. When we checked in San Juan, we discovered that on the flight from Dulles to San Francisco, my wife and I were no longer sitting together. However, our friends discovered that only one of them actually had a seat on that flight, and the other one was unassigned. Suddenly, our 2 seats not being together were a minor problem in comparison. Because the problem was on the flight from Dulles to San Francisco, the gate agents in San Juan basically threw up their hands, told us the flight had been overbooked, and that all the seats were now in airport control. The process was constraining their ability to find a solution. We needed the problem solved in San Juan because we had a very short connection when we landed in Dulles, and we would have no time to plead our case or try to get anything changed. So if we didn't solve it in San Juan, it was unlikely to be solved when we landed in Dulles. A couple of calls to the United Premier Desk resulted in no more help than a suggestion that we have the agents in San Juan contact the agents in Dulles to see if they could help us. Again, focusing on the process. We found a supervisor in San Juan who agreed to call Dulles for us, but he let us know that it was unlikely to do us any good because the gate agent wouldn't be assigned in Dulles for several hours. While he was doing that, it dawned on me we were probably not on the last flight from Dulles to San Francisco, and we could possibly get 4 seats on a later flight. I was finally also focusing on the outcome, which was to get to San Francisco as a group as quickly as possible. I asked another agent if there was a later flight. She said yes, there was one about an hour later. It had 4 first-class seats, but it would be a 757 rather than a 777. Equipment didn't matter to us in this particular situation. When the supervisor finished his call to Dulles, he let us know that the only thing that had happened was he'd gotten stuck in a voicemail, and the voicemail box is really for grievances. So as expected, he wasn't able to help us. At that point, I simply asked him if he could move us to the later flight. He checked, said sure, problem solved. Nobody ever thought to suggest we take a later flight. They all looked at the problem as getting us on the flight we were booked on from Dulles to San Francisco. They were going to be unsuccessful at assuring we could be on the flight we were booked on because the only person that could actually solve the problem was a gate agent in Washington Dulles who had yet to be assigned to the gate. Offering an out-of-the-box solution which simply focused on the desired outcome solved several problems. First, we were all assured of being on the same flight. Second, we no longer had to rush between our flights in Dulles. And thirdly, stress is gone. When your people are looking to solve a problem, especially a customer-facing problem, are they remembering to focus on the outcome, or are they constrained by the process they think they have to follow?